morning everyone. In the last class we were dealing with our multiple views of line plot or line chart, and today we will be discussing the remaining line plot programs and line plotting techniques. Multiple views we discussed, single view and multiple view, and the multiple view was in a single frame. Now we were if you want to do it in multiple frames or single frame with a space in between, what are to be done we will be learning. And before learning into the details of multiple frames, multiple views and all, we have to think of a package called NumPy. Last year you might have studied NumPy package. There are few functions in NumPy, just like our matplotlib. Whenever you want to use it, we will import NumPy as NP. As I said, NP is a variable that you are only giving. If you want, you can change it also. Import NumPy as NP. That means whenever you want to use a function of this NumPy library, we will be calling those functions using NP. Just like we did plt.plot, we will be calling this NumPy function using NP dot. Instead you can give anything. Okay. So in this there is an important function arange. I don't know whether you have learned this last year or not. If it is there in your classwork, you have to learn it, revise it. Otherwise, I will tell you what is this arange. Arange is a function used to print or print from one value, one limit starting position to an ending position. Okay. So arange is a function which is available in our NumPy. So np.arange you have to use. Why np.arange? Because np was the object or NP was the variable used for referring to the NumPy. So if I write np.arange 1, 10 means this is the start position and this is the end position or stop position. That means it will start printing from 1 till 10, but 10 will be excluded. This is the property of every range function till the last value won't be shown actually. 1 to 10 minus 1. So 1 to 9 it will be displayed. So that is about arange. Why I am discussing this arange here? This arange we are going to use in our charting or line plotting technique, because instead of printing values from 1 to 100 we will use arange. Okay. So one more example of arange, np dot arange 3, 10, 2. So in the previous one we had only 2 parameters. Now we have 3 parameters. The first one is start value, and the second is end value, and the third is called step value. That means the possible range are 3, then step plus 2, it will become 5, plus 2, 7, 7 plus 2, 9. 9 plus 2, 11 means it goes beyond the range. So this is a function called arange. Arange, if you don't mention the start position, what will happen? It starts from 0. If you don't mention the start position, it starts from 0 to the last position minus 1. If you don't mention the step value, in the first one we didn't mention the step value, it will increment by 1. That means by default, automatically the stepping will be done by 1, plus 1. And by default, the starting value will be the first value, that is 0. 0 to n minus 1. 0 to last value minus 1. So that's all about arange function. This you have to keep it in your mind when you do this remaining plotting of line chart. Now coming to the next multiple plotting topic, that was we discussed up to multiple views, multiple plots. Now next one is multiple views. Multiple views means we can have more than one graph in the same frame, but they will have different separate grid or separate frames, not in the same frame but one window, different frames. It will be just like this. In previous example it was like this: one window, two graph were. That is multiple plot. Now multiple view means here one and here one. So this is one graph, one line, and this is another line. They will be in one window. So this is called multiple view. And then multiple plot means only one window or one plot, one grid you will find two. This is called multiple plot. Last class we discussed how to do multiple plot with line chart, and now we are learning how to make multiple view in line chart. For that we will do a program. That program requires our arrange function used in NumPy. That's why I discussed the arrange function. So here after when I import NumPy, the meaning is we will be using any function which is there in NumPy in your program. So multiple view setting. The program is already given in your notes. You can refer to your notes. Whatever I do on the board will be there in the notes also. So multiple views, two different views, and then thus two importing you have to do. Import matplot lib dot pyplot as plt. You know why we are doing it. It is for plotting functions. And the second one is here is import, as I said earlier, NumPy as np. np is the object of NumPy function. And now we'll create a arrange function, np dot arrange 0.0, 20, then 1. So starting from 0 till 20, increment by 1. If you don't mention 1 also, it will increment by 1 only. And for the s, I will give some values 1, 2, 3. The full code is there in the note. Some value up to 20. And for s2, another set of values. These values are starting from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to 23. So the first list is s starting from 1. First list is s starting from 1 to 20, and the second list is 4 starting from 4 to 23. So these are the available list. Using this list, we'll be plotting it. So remember, in our previous multiple plot, we had two plot functions. We had two plot functions and one show function, because both the lines were showing in a single window. Here we require two separate plots. Those plots are called subplots. We have to create subplots. So this is a subplot for drawing one line, and this is another subplot for drawing another line. Altogether we will have one window. This is called multiple view. Okay. So the function what we use for plotting is, it is not before using our plot function, we will use the function subplot. plt dot sub plot 2 1 1 2 1 1. So subplot function is used. The subplot statement is used to divide the section into two parts. One internal plot, another internal plot. So total two plots, one here and one here. So that is the meaning of 2 1 1. And now we will plot it. Subplot is created. plt dot subplot is created. plt dot plot t comma s. plt dot plot t comma s. Then the next one is plt dot, this we did last class, plt dot y label, plt dot y label value, plt dot title, first chart. and continuation PLT dot grid. This is an additional feature. If you give grid true, there will be crossing lines on the plot, only on the plot. That is PLT dot grid true. T capital. Okay. Now that's all under the first plotting. Subplot 2, 1, 1. Now we will do subplot 2, 1, 2. Okay. So that means what do you mean by PLT dot subplot 2, 1, 2, 1, 1? This indicates the first subplot of two plots. 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. This will be 1, 2. First row, first column. So, first column, first row, first column, second row. So there are two rows actually. This is one row, this is another row. So this part is our second one, and this is the first one. Both are in the same column. That means we have two subplots. Out of the two subplots, you will find these two subplots in one plot. That's why we call it as, we write as 2, 1, 1 for the first one, and the second one 2, 1, 2. What is first 2 indicates there are two subplots. Out of the two subplots, 1, 1 means it's appearing on top. 1, 1. First row, first column. Or first column, first row. First column, first row. Or first element in the first column. Only one column is there. One column. Column means vertical, row means horizontal. First element in the first column. First column, that is this first element. Or first chart in the first column. And this is first column, second chart. Total 2. So now we will continue the coding. PLT.grid equal to true. Grid is used for making grids on the plot, or horizontal and vertical lines will appear on that. After this PLT.title first chart, next one is PLT.grid true, and the next statement is then plotting the second one. That I will do on top of this. I will write the rest of the statement, importing and all. We will continue our programming on top of the lines. PLT dot. Now we are creating the second subplot. PLT dot sub plot. That is 2, 1, 2. 2, 1, 2 means, as I said, this is second subplot. There it will be plotted. PLT dot plot t comma s s2. First one was t comma s. Second one is t comma s2. Okay. So x value will be the same. X value will be the same, and y value will vary for both. Okay. So this is the x value for one plot. This is the x value for another plot. Both are same, and this much is the y value for one plot, and this is the y value for another plot. Okay. That's why you find t in both t the same value, and in one it is t comma s, and the other one it is t comma s2. Okay. Now for this also we will give label. Here I will give label to the x label, items, because labeling of x we need to do only once, because there is only one x axis that is common to both, and y we are splitting into two. PLT dot x label items and PLT dot y label. This is y label of the second plot. PLT dot y label. Here we will give values. Okay, so first chart and second chart are ready. Now for title, PLT dot title, you can give PLT dot title. This is the title for the second plot, second subplot, that is second chart title. Then grid also you can give for the second one. PLT dot grid true. PLT dot grid true. The last one, as you did in the last class, that was PLT dot show. This is the end of the code. Okay. So once again, we started with importing matplot lib.pyplot Along with that importing statement, we had one more that was import numpy as np. That np is used for calling a function called arange that was used for generating a range starting from 0 to some value, and we had that range was called t, and that t was used for x-axis. T was used for x-axis, and we had two y part, one for the first subplot. So in this you will find 2, and this is our t, and this part is called our y part, and here we will be above this is 1 and this is another one, second subplot, and here you will find values, here also you will find values, and here you will find t. T will be the bottommost one because it is for both. T will be the bottommost one, it is for both, and that is labeled as plt.x label items. That's why in your program you will find x label is labeled only once, y label is labeled twice. Why it is so? X label is only one x-axis that is corresponding for both, and y-axis when you take we will be doing it separately because it starts from here and this starts from here, and but this x-axis is common for both. So x-axis part will be items and y-axis I labeled as values, and grid also given. So when you give grid, it will be, the plot will be crossed like this, that is grid, and this is called first line, or it was named as first chart, and this is second chart. It will be written first chart and second chart. That was the title of the chart, and all these things will be there, and the values will be based on the values of S1, S2 and S and S2 and T. Okay, clear? And when you run this program, you won't find much space between this. This will be somewhat mixed. You will miss the second chart. What you are writing second chart here, it will be automatically written. That will be crowded. You won't find any space in between. So in order to bring a space in between the first chart and the second chart, there is a statement. That statement is called adjust, that we have to give. So what will happen if you don't give that? This second chart, what you have written second chart here, this second chart will not be visible. It will become very close. These statements or these two charts will be very close. The space between these two charts will be very less. So in order to avoid that, what we will do, we will be using a statement. That is the next one. That is to plot two lines in two different views of the same window by adjusting space. To plot two different views in the same window by adjusting space. For that, we use a statement. That statement is plt dot subplots plt dot subplots adjust subplots underscore adjust brackets h space means horizontal space equal to 0.4 comma w space, that is width space, or width equals 0.4. That means length and width will be adjusted. Where this is to be inserted, this should be inserted, this should be, this statement to be inserted before second subplotting. That is before PLT dot subplot 2 comma 1 comma 2. That means this statement is to be this statement PLT dot subplots underscore adjust horizontal space, that is length equals 0.4 and width 0.4. That means after displaying the first subplot, we leave 0.4 centimeter width, 0.4 centimeter height, and after that only we will start our second plotting. That means this statement should be inserted after PLT dot plot first one, then before PLT dot subplot 212. That means the next statement after this statement in your program will be PLT dot subplot 2 comma 1 comma 2. I am not writing the whole program because it's already there. When you try it in the system, what you have to do? First you will be trying the first program, and after that PLT dot plot of the first part, there before this PLT dot subplot will insert this. That means then your first window will be here, and there will be one space between this. That means your second chart will be printed properly. First chart and second chart will be shown visible. It will not be crowded. If you want some more space, you can increase it 0.5, 0.9, 0. So that is there already, and this program is there in your handout what I am giving in the Google Classroom. So the complete program is there. So there you can refer it clearly. Okay. So that is leaving space between two subplots if required. Then next one is next one is about doing some modification, changing color and styles and all. Okay. So how can we change the color, line color, style and all. Okay. So that is the next topic. Next topic is based on changing the line color, pattern, that and all. Okay. These are all additional things. Even without that also your program will work. But when you change the line color and set a new color, increase the width and make the line a dotted line, that and all will make your chart more presentable, or it will be more beautiful than a rough chart. Okay. So we will be dealing with that. That is the next topic. It is about after subplotting multiple views. The next topic is changing line colors and styles. Changing line color